What's going on, guys? It's Johari again. We're back with another video, and today we are going to be talking about course uniqueness. So, course uniqueness is the physical digital product that people can use to transform their lives, right? It's what you can get paid for, and it's how you can create impact on transforming someone's life. So, with no further ado, let's get straight into it. So, after doing the course uniqueness worksheet, what I realize is how I can make this program different and why it matters. So, today we're going to talk about what I've learned, what I've built, and the unique angle that I've and my unique positioning, how I feel, all my personal reflections so far, the next step, and my invitation to you. So, why course unique? Why the course uniqueness worksheet matters? The worksheet generally answers one question: why should anyone choose my program and not another? Not why it's cheaper, not why it's longer, not why it has more features, but why it fits my exact customer avatar at this stage better than anything else. So the course uniqueness isn't about being revolutionary, it's about being relevant to my audience. And what I learned so far from doing this worksheet is beginners don't need more information because they already have purchased courses. They've already got tons and tons of notes from the paid courses, the free courses, bunch of YouTube content, masterclasses, and webinars. Also, they're already involved in Skool, Twitch, and what communities, and they've saved a lot of videos, and they keep rewatching these videos, and generally they have great intention. So the problem isn't a lack of knowledge, it's a genuine lack of clarity, confidence, and sequencing. And that's where most programs actually lose them. A little bit here, a little bit there, a bit bloody everywhere at this point. So beginners don't need more information. They already have a lot of information already. Second realization is most courses teach everything, and what I want to do is teach what matters right now. So, what I've learned from doing this worksheets are competitors will often say, here's everything you need to know in order to get started and make 10K a month. That's not what I'm doing, right? Because beginners here, this is way too much for me right now, and I don't even know where to start. So, my conclusion and really my biggest advantage isn't more content, it's just better filtering at the right step for the right person. Second biggest realization was the identity shift is the missing piece, right? So, most of these programs all focus on three things: tools, tactics, and systems. These are all vehicles you can use, right? These are all processes that can be used to develop. But it's about really what's going on the inside. So very few people walk through fear of being seen, fear of choosing wrong, fear of sounding underqualified, and fear of selling, right? I don't separate mindset and strategy, but I want to run them together. So you get a two-in-one combo. So I really want to make this beginner friendly. So at the point of this recording, this is my statement. It's overwhelmed, purpose driven beginners who want to turn their knowledge, life experiences, or passions into a meaningful online coaching business using YouTube documentation to build their confidence and monetize it through a Skool community, but they don't know where to start. So, here's what we know: they're not lazy, they are overloaded, unsure, and afraid of choosing wrong. So their current situation right now, and this is generally what makes them stuck, is most beginners have too many ideas and little to no direction. They feel all the pressure in the world just to pick the perfect niche, just to refine the perfect offer, or tweak the perfect messaging system, or you know couple things on their thumbnails or their titles or their about pages, all this blah 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 blah, right? And it goes on and on. They watch endless YouTube content only to join so many different courses at the same time and so many different communities. They take notes but they never implement. They start way too early or just not at all. And now they fear, after starting, they fear being seen and sounding unqualified, right? Now, this is just so much fear, right? Of it just leads to like being stressed all the time, just being mentally drained, just finished, right? So clearly, we know that they don't lack information, they just lack clarity, confidence, and sequence. So the desired outcome, what what they view success looks like, is they want confirmation in everything they do and stop wasting time. They want clear direction of not what matters, 3 steps down the line or 2 steps down the line. They want direction, clear direction to what matters right now. They want a simple, repeatable system that they can trust, that is easy to understand and easy to start building. They want the confidence to take action without second guessing. So, realistically, for a beginner, their first real win is a first engagement member who joins their Skool community. It's a completing their first paid offer and then getting their first paid client. These are realistic steps and goals for beginners to take. So the proof is they want they want proof that this can actually work for me, right? Because I was feeling all these things before. Ultimately, they want to go from overwhelmed and unsure to calm, confident, and consistent. So, here's my approach to actually help them get there. I help beginners cut through the noise and focus on only what matters at their current stage. So, something I want to give is a 5 to 6 week guided program, and I'm going to offer a free course which will be week 1. This is free, and what it would really hone in on is clarity and momentum for all the foundational steps, but it will be really, really bulletproof. And then weeks 2 to 5 are the paid program, which is implementation and support. So this goes further into depth, not just mentally, but also system strategically and all sorts that come with that. Um, so yeah, what I guide them through is getting them clarity on their niche and direction, turning who they are into a great coaching offer that actually aligns with who they are as a person. I help them take visible action through doing YouTube documentation to build their confidence without pretending to be an expert. I help them build a Skool community as their home base, a platform where they can engage with like minded individuals and then possibly close them in a sales call, right? I also help them create momentum before complexity. So, creating the momentum of just starting so they can actually go the next step after that. So, like I said, I filter, I sequence, and I simplify. So, I did a competitor comparison, and this does matter because it enables me to understand where sort of these big gurus go wrong. And to be honest, even if they're watching this video, this might really help them out, right? So, a lot of sort of typical gurus that you see online, they'll do like full Skool setup videos. They'll go very strategically into funnels, video sales letters, and different automations. They'll go into how to start creating courses, how to monetize them, then how to build all the traffic and push traffic into that so they can get more people buying, and then just general scaling models in general, right? So with Max, for an example, his system is so broad, it spans from beginner to 100k scaler, right? That depth can overwhelm true starters as it's just too broad and it speaks to way too many avatars, which is why beginners just struggle to even get started. So here's my difference, right? I focus only on the starter stage and not on the intermediate or the scaler, right? I focus on the starter, not the builder, not the scaler. I slow the starting process down and I prioritize on clarity before complexity. So I help people just start. I cover everything foundationally and make it bulletproof so they can start and not scale too early. But then this will set them up perfectly for the next step, which is builder. And the starting stage is from 0 to 10k, builder is from like 10k to 100k, scaler is 100k, and so on. So what makes this course so unique? Now, the system that I've created is built on these principles: clarity before complexity, momentum over motivation, identity alongside with strategy and systems, action over perfection, and simplicity over hype. So, specifically, I teach what to do first and not everything. I remove 80% of unnecessary noise that doesn't belong at the very starting stage. I normalize being a beginner, and this is a big one because online they normalize it to bring you in, but the product doesn't fit the beginner's standard, right? So I use documentation as a confidence booster. So the great thing about documenting your whole entire journey when you learn from zero, like I'm talking about absolutely nothing, knowing nothing, is you build confidence whilst you learn, you build confidence whilst you build, and then whilst you teach, that is the YouTube video, or that is the content on Instagram, or that is the content on Skool. And this also builds organic free traffic where now you have a crowd watching you and you can just divert traffic into where you want it to go. And the great thing about this is you know you build a actual following of people that trust you, that they believe in you, that they want what you have to offer. Um, and this is actually the biggest asset of them all, right? It's not earning money from a paid product you can produce. It's about getting attention is the number one currency. So if you have a platform where you can document and you have active attention on there, you can do whatever you want with that, right? So it's super useful. And especially when you're doing it with good intent, you can really, really make a difference in this world. You can make so much impact. So, yeah, I use documentation as a confidence thing and a traffic thing. So, I also guide identity shifts alongside skill building, and I create small align wins early, right? These are all the smaller steps. These are all the smaller wins leading on to the bigger wins. Okay. So, what competitors will always say is, here's everything you need to know right now. I say, here's what matters most right now and why. So, the final uniqueness summary of this all is this course that I'm creating will help purpose driven beginners gain clarity, stop overthinking, and build their first meaningful coaching business using a simple, guided system on Skool and YouTube without overwhelm, without hype, or pretending to be an expert. That is the main difference. So, my personal reflection on all of this, well, clearly it's been a repetitive scenario. I have really been repeating a lot of things that I have in the last 3 videos now, just because these are all worksheets I have done in sequence order to get me up to here, and it's been the same problem. But the great thing about doing all these worksheets is small things can change over time, and I guess it really helps nailing down with the foundations. But honestly, it's been super boring. So when I create an action plan worksheet like this, I will now know to make it way more fun and differentiate to the questions, to what we should really be asking so we can find the correct answers. So on a whole, I have, clarified my edge. I've removed the comparison pressure of, what other people are teaching within my industry. I've anch- I've anchored in my offer at this stage for beginners, which we're going to go into the next video. Um, and that's actually really given me the confidence to just generally move forward, right? This worksheet really gave me confidence because now I know what I need to put into my coaching program, um, because I'm no longer trying to compete with people ahead of me. So all that false pressure is now gone. And I'm doing is I'm serving the person that I was. I was overwhelmed, motivated, but unsure, and I really knew I was deeply called for more. So that is exactly who the majority of this audience is for. And what I've realized is I actually love recording my journey. Like, it gives me great confidence to teach. So when I create my courses or when I run my coaching programs, I'll be able to do it in a similar way where it's now progress over perfection, but practice like now makes me one step better than I was yesterday. So that's as perfect as it can get. So my next step right now, which I've just spoken about. So let's just take it back. We've now translated this course uniqueness into my offer, and this will be done using the niche, market research, ideal customer avatar, my messaging worksheet, and now this worksheet to find the middle ground to create a crazy offer that my avatar can't refuse. Now, I've already started this stage a little bit, so I'm a little bit in head, but it's not 100% finished. So yeah, the next step really is to use that so I can design a paid coaching program based on clarity and accountability for my industry. And this is actually what I can create. Like, I can create such an impact for my client, which makes me feel over the moon, and I can get paid to do it. It's like a win-win. So what will be done is I'll use week one as a free course. So this will just build trust and momentum, get all the foundations right so they can move on to the next step. The next step would be a coaching program, and it's going to be super cheap because I'm kind of new to this. So other people charge like 3,000. I think I'm on the spectrum charging about $495, which is nothing, because beginners literally charge like a couple thousand and they sell pretty fast. So I wanted to give myself and you guys the best friendly beginner steps, right? So it's like it doesn't feel like a massive commitment, but it feels comfortable for you guys to sort of just go with, right? Anyway, and then through this, I will then let the results and the confidence do the same. So, my invitation to you. First of all, guys, if you enjoyed this content, please follow my YouTube channel. Follow my YouTube channel and stay updated. Turn the notification system on. And so, once again, guys, if you're tired of just overthinking or starting or stopping and just consuming without implementing, and if you want a calm and simple place to start with real clarity, building real momentum, then, like I said, I'm building this openly inside my free Skool community called Kingdom Coaching, where there's not going to be this next big thing. There's no pressure or hype or anything like that. Just pure alignment with who you are, a direction, easy directional steps and support so you can move forward. So you can now make this 2026 your best year yet, and you're welcome to join whenever you feel ready. So guys, it's been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed doing this video, actually, to be honest, because it's just so much progress. Like, I can actually produce content. So for me to say this and get to where I am now, it's a miracle, really. But yeah, with no further ado, I'll leave it at that. and I'll see you in the next one. God bless. Ciao.